was what, 40 something years ago. I was 17 years, 6 months. I just finished school, wanted a job, of course, and I decided to venture into the hospitality industry. So I end up started working in stewarding. And, back then, life was a little bit more difficult on the island. So my general manager at the point, who was the owner also, said, I think you have good potential in being in the kitchen. So I started my journey in the kitchen back in 1986, way back then. And then I, started in stewarding, as I said before, and work under the leadership of the chef. And I just started loving it, and I feel like that I can create my own recipes. I can try different things. I can, instead of following the books, and that way, and I just fall in love with it. Well, being from the island and being able to indulge in a lot of the local, ingredients that we have here from my island, and it was important for me to upscale what we have as local, because pretty much that what we have. We have the conch, we have the grouper. So it's about taking that into and to make it set into an international, you know, fare that people can come and enjoy. So, currently we are doing a lot of different things in the restaurants. All the different restaurants have different, you know, ingredients, and we're able to, make sure that when guests come here, they have a different experience everywhere they eat. Good question. I don't really have a favorite. What I would say to you, I always recommend guests to try the local delicacies, the local food, like the crock conch, the conch salad, right? I encourage people to try the local grouper, right, which is very important for the Bahamians, and it gives them an opportunity to showcase their talent and to really, put their stamp on things. And so when guests live here, they can say, well, I've been to the Bahamas, I try a little bit of the Bahamas food, and it's great, because certain dishes they can get anywhere of the world, but the crack conch, which is really signature here, and the conch salad, which I think guests should try when they get here. We cooperated a lot, and by working closely with the local community. So we have a local fisherman that goes out and provide us with the conch, with the grouper, with lobsters also, and that's pretty much what we get locally here. So what we try to do, we partnership with them to make sure that we can and they can sustain us when we need something. And if a guest comes and needs something, a whole lobster, we're able to call our local fishermen and say, hey, can we get a whole lobster? And we do actually, when guests comes here, we encourage them to go out fishing. So when they go out fishing and they bring catch back, we prepare it for them. And we do that in any of the outlets. I try to encourage my team to really meet the guest needs. First of all, we look at the guest dietary restriction, and we look to see what we have. And if there's a guest with a special need, we try to meet the guests. We encourage that mostly with local catch. So when the guests go with the local catch, we try to accommodate them, even though they want to eat in tides or sushi or Hemingways. We try to encourage them to do that so we can prepare the meal locally. So, and I find that to be a little bit more interactive, quite interactive, and then guests will leave with a great experience, and they will always remember that oh, this chef prepared this for me. And I encourage the chefs to really talk to the guests, meet the guests, you know, and to get their feedback and see, okay, how can we make the guests more, the experience a lasting experience. Well, we have a new menu coming up in Tides, and really we have a local chef. I'll have a local chef who's doing it, which partnership with me. And what I try to tell him is that use his local experience to really put a stamp on the menu. Okay, the trend is there, but we try to do use the local ingredients and build on that trend. So like crack conch, okay, you might call it popcorn shrimp, but you can call it popcorn conch. So we try to use the local ingredients, to build that trend and to see what other people are doing. Taco is big, and so we have Monkey Business that offer a little bit of that. We have Hemingways that have the taco three ways, which is the grill, fried, and blackened. So, and I think that's a great addition to the dish. Even though it's traditional, even though it's trendy, it's sort of like fit into our theme of things here. Well, most of our wedding, we try to meet the guests when they get here. They come for a tasting, they come to see the place, to orient themselves with the place. So what we do when they get here, either myself or the banquet chef will meet with the guests and we'll do tasting just to make sure that they're happy with what we're going to serve them and to make sure that their guests are going to have a great experience when they're here. So the chef will meet them, orient himself with the guests, so the guests will put a face to name, so they know who's going to cook their dish for them. And so once they get in, I'll come out and say hello to them, just to make them feel comfortable that they're in good hands. And that way, when the guest comes here, they know they can promote this place and say, "Hey, don't worry about it. We're going to have a great time." And we try to meet the guests in that aspect. We have a great pastry chef that meets the guests also, and we try to meet all guest recommendations and we try to meet their needs, and to accommodate them in whichever way. Because we're on an island, right? And some things are hard to get, so sometimes we have to plan ahead of it just to make sure that every guest that comes in to have a wedding have a great experience. I just want to say everybody should come to Bimini. It's a beautiful place. I love the island. The resort is very beautiful. I'm enjoying working here for sure. We have a lot to offer. All of our outlets are different. We have Fisherman's Village, we have Monkey Business, which is a great place to be, and of course we have Tide, we have sushi. We have a variety for everybody to come and enjoy.